So, how many of you just graduated from high school? Not many. Well, this is a photo of me from my high school graduation. Myself and my three best friends from high school were featured on the cover of the Taunton Daily Gazette, jumping for joy, with the quote at the top being, "Life will be what you put into it." Now, you've probably seen this quote in about 1,000,001 Hallmark cards, but I'm here to tell you that this really is true. I have put my heart, my soul, and all of myself into my involvement here at Bridgewater, and I've gained so much in return. If you are willing to be passionate and put yourself into your experience here at Bridgewater, you will get so much in return and have an unforgettable experience. Now, who here is ready to start in the fall, is excited about living on campus, all that college has to offer? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you are excited but nervous? Alright, now how many of you are straight up miserable to be here? You hate your life right now. Like, you don't want to sleep in like the dorm tonight. Anyone out there? Oh, I see you. I was you 3 years ago. This is me at my orientation. I was indeed a very grumpy cat. I did not want to be here. I applied to 12 different universities, and Bridgewater was not even on my radar. But I got a pretty good scholarship, and I was going to graduate in 3 years, so I ultimately decided to go to Bridgewater. My plan was to graduate in 3 years, commute from Taunton every day for 30 minutes, not get involved. This was essentially my pit stop on my way to grad school, whatever I decided to do after my undergrad. And I was not happy. This worked for about a month, and by October I was genuinely depressed. I made no new friends. I was just, it felt like high school 2.0, 13th grade. There was nothing new. And so there are going to be moments in your life where you're presented with an opportunity to make that decision, to make a change, or just keep things the way they are. Now, I was very fortunate to bump into the girl I had a crush on since elementary school, but never actually got the courage to ask out. And so she told me all about how she was involved in the Student Government Association. She just was elected secretary, and she encouraged me to get involved. And I genuinely had no interest whatsoever, but I did have an interest in her, so I joined. And I learned through the Student Government Association that I love politics, I love government, I love advocacy, things of the sort. And so I became a senator, eventually became treasurer, and this past year I served as president. And I really discovered a passion for getting involved in my campus community. And so I formed the Honor Student Congress and served as president for the past 2 years. I served as an orientation leader last summer, not this summer, but I was able to impact so many lives of incredible students, much like yourselves. And one special part of that memory that I'll hold forever is 2 students that I actually was an orientation leader for are orientation leaders now. So shout out to John and Danielle. Love you guys. But I loved orientation so much that I let them convince me to go camping. So that was an opportunity for me to step outside of my comfort zone. That's a horrible picture. And I really did step outside of my comfort zone. And I did again when I studied abroad in Thailand, where I tried some of the most amazing food that I will never have again. I rode an elephant through a forest. I worked with orphans throughout Thailand, the Karyong Hill tribe of northern Thailand. It was just an unforgettable experience. And the individuals who I met on this journey, I will carry with me through the rest of my lives. And it's moments like this where I reflect back on my Bridgewater experience and I remember how unforgettable it was and how truly amazing my involvement experience has been. You need to find what you're passionate about and get involved in some capacity. It doesn't have to be an organization. It doesn't have to be study abroad. Get involved in an internship, a research opportunity, athletics, student employment, whatever it is, get involved, because you're going to regret it in 4 years if you graduate with a diploma and no sense of belonging or sense of purpose. Another passion of mine was my heritage. I'm a Portuguese American, and so I joined the Portuguese American Student Association, which was just a fun organization, and I enjoyed celebrating my heritage. I also joined a fraternity of some of the most incredible men who shatter every possible stereotype you could have about a fraternity. And they stand up for everything that is right. They're the most incredible gentlemen who I have been lucky to be mentored by and share similar terrible taste in shirts with. And I have been able to serve as a mentor of some incredible men as well through the Phi Kappa Theta fraternity. So all of my involvement ultimately culminated in my graduation this May, where I came in initially as a student who didn't want to get involved, and I was the student marshal, where I had cords and stoles, I was even homecoming king, but you know what? None. Yeah, I wrote a Briscoe. But none of that matters. Because what matters the most is all of the knowledge I've gained. You like the meme? Yeah. What matters the most is the friends I've gained that I will cherish for the rest of my life, the knowledge I've gained, the friends, all the memories, and the tools that Bridgewater has given me to be successful in my future. And what my future entails is I will be attending Northeastern Law School in the fall to pursue a career in law and public service, which was inspired from my involvement with SGA. And the best part of all of this is I don't have to begin this journey alone, because the girl who initially inspired me to get involved in my campus community, well, I got her.